Everyone, it's Karen here. You may know me online as @HookedUpCrochet on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I used to have a blog. It's gone away, but it's coming back. We'll talk about that more later. Today, I'm going to do a review and a tutorial for the new Red Heart Granny Square all-in-one yarn from Yarnspirations. This yarn is available on the Yarnspirations website, but I ordered mine online from Joann Fabrics to pick up in store, and I stacked 2 coupons to do that. So check that out. I am using the color Pink Punch. Now, if you open up the label to your yarn, you will actually see that Red Heart has provided you with a granny square crochet pattern for you to follow to achieve the best possible results. Now, I didn't follow this, I did my own thing, so if what I show you doesn't work out, always refer back to the inside of your label. Now, looking at the yarn, you can see that purple is our beginning color, and what I like to do is, for whatever round I'm working on, I'm going to pull out that entire color. I'm going to disregard that little bit of white, but I'm pulling out all of the purple so I have a visual of how much yarn I have per round. I totally forgot to mention I am using a 5mm crochet hook, and I'm about 30 squares deep, so I know how long of a tail I need, so you may need to play around with this. Now, to start off, I am going to chain 4 to form a ring. So there's my chain 4. Now I'm making it a ring. Next, I am going to chain 1 and work 1 single crochet into the ring. Then I'm going to stack another single crochet by going into this loop right here, and I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, and then complete a single crochet. Now, if that went too fast, don't worry, I'll slow it down in the second round. Now I'm going to work 2 double crochets and then do a chain 2. So now I'm going to work 3 double crochets into my ring and chain 2. And I'm going to do that for a total of 3 more times. And then I'm going to slip stitch to my first stitch to complete this round. So there's 3 double crochets and a chain 2. And then I'm going to do it again. 3 double crochets into the ring and chain 2. And now for the third time, I'm going to work 3 double crochets into the ring and chain 2. Then I'm going to slip stitch to my first stitch to complete this round. Now, I know it looks like I'm running out of yarn here, but these first couple rounds are very forgiving. If the color changes right there, that's okay. We're going to end up hiding this. So here I am slip stitching to my first stitch. And this is the end of round 1. Don't worry about it. We're going to hide that little part. And now we're going to zoom in. This is what it should look like. To start off your second round, you're going to pull out all of this color. It's good to have a visual to see how much color you're working with. So here I am doing that. Okay, it gets pretty easy after this. You are going to chain 1. Work 1 single crochet into the chain space, then stack another single crochet on top of it. So I chained 1, I'm inserting my hook, and I'm working a single crochet into the chain space. Now I'm going to insert my hook into that loop right there to stack a single crochet on top of the other one. This is just how I like to start my rounds, and I think it looks the best. So now we're going to work 2 double crochets. Then we're going to chain 1. Now you're going to do a 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in each of the corners, and then to separate that in between clusters, you're going to chain 1. So there's my 3rd double crochet. I'm going to chain 2, work 3 more double crochets into this chain space, 2 and 3, and then you're going to chain 1 and do that again. I'm speeding this up so this video doesn't take forever. So just keep working that. And here I am at my last one. At my last one, I'm just going to work 3 double crochets and chain 2 and slip stitch to my first stitch to complete this round. Now I know what you're thinking. It looks like my color change is going to happen too soon, but these first couple rounds are very forgiving. You can easily hide this. So if your color does change before you slip stitch, it's okay, I promise. Okay, and here's a close-up of what your work should look like. Now for the third round, again, we're going to pull out all of this color because we want to have a visual guide of how much we have left. All right, starting with our work again, we are going to chain one, work a single crochet into that chain space, then stack another single crochet on top of it. So I'm inserting my hook there, pulling up a loop and working a single crochet. Now I'm going to work 2 more double crochets into this chain space, and then I'm going to chain 1. Now I'm going to work 3 double crochets and a chain 1. So 1, 2, and 3, then I'm going to chain 1. There's my chain 1. Now I'm back at a corner. So we're going to do like we did before. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, then you're going to chain 1. Now in that next chain space, we are going to work 3 double crochets, chain 1, and that will bring it back to the next corner, and we're just going to repeat this process all the way around. Now it was right at this spot that I noticed my color changes were not happening how I wanted them to, so I had to undo a few clusters. Now particularly in this corner, I noticed my tension was just a little too loose for my liking, so I undid a few clusters, and that's what you have to do with this yarn at first. You may have to undo a couple here and there, but once you get a feel for it, it's very easy. And I know by making this adjustment right here in this corner and tightening up my tension to where it should be, this is going to line up perfectly. As you can see here, my color change happens in the chain 2 space. That's perfectly okay because whenever you work your stitches in the next round, it's going to hide that. So a little color change beforehand, before the round ends, is okay. So that's the end of our round, and we're going to get a close-up look. For rounds 4 and 5, we're going to do the same thing that we did in round 3. We're going to start off by pulling out all of our color for this round. Then we're going to chain 1, work 1 single crochet into that chain space, and then stack another single crochet on top of it, work 2 double crochet, chain 1. Now in all of these cluster spaces, you're going to work 3 double crochet and chain 1 until you reach a corner piece, and there you're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 1, and you're just going to continue this all the way around, and then you're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2 to finish off this round. I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up so we're not wasting our time here. So if you need to pause, pause now. All right, I've worked my way around and I'm coming up to the end. I'm doing my chain 2, then I'm going to slip stitch to the first stitch to complete this round. To start round 5, your final round, we're going to do the same thing that we've done before. We're going to pull out all of the color that we're using, and we're going to just repeat what we did before. Now for the 5th and final round, you're doing the same thing that you did in round 4 as you did in round 3. I do tighten my tension for round 5 just to ensure I have enough slack at the end for a yarn tail. So here I am, I'm just starting off the same way I have, and I'm going to work all the way around. As you can see right here, I'm coming up to my final cluster. So I'm working my 3 double crochets, then I'm going to chain 2 and slip stitch to my first stitch, and I'm going to fasten off, leaving a long tail, so whatever color you have left from your 5th and final round. And I'm going to cut right here, right where it joins back to purple. And that is it. That is how you make a granny square using this new yarn from Red Heart. And there I am fastening off. And as you can see here, the purple is restarting, so that means it's time for a new square. After 5 rounds, your square is complete. And I know my tension is a little tight here, but that's just to make sure I have a long enough yarn tail to weave in my end. And plus, I like the way that this looks. So here it is after 5 rounds. Now I'm going to pop this on my blocking board along with all my others so that they come out more uniform. I really enjoy this yarn. I know at the beginning I said I was like 15 squares deep, but in between doing this voiceover, I counted and I am well over that. I've gone through 2.5 skeins already. So yeah, it's really a lot of fun. And I know this yarn isn't for everyone, but there are ways to make it work for you. Once you find your tension and the hook size that works best for you, it's a lot of fun. Here are 2 other squares that I made from the other skeins that I purchased from Joann's. This is called Black Carnation. And again, I only have 2 ends to weave in. I love, love, love this. And the other one is called Green Scream, I believe. I used the same hook, did the same tension, and used the same pattern. And I'm really pleased with the results. And I definitely think this is a yarn that I'm going to be buying more of the colors because it's just a lot of fun. This is a good project where you need some instant gratification. The only downside to this yarn that I've ran into is just a little bit of minor color bleeding. And it's not a deal breaker for me, but if you're selling items, I could see where it could become an issue. But again, for me, I think it gives the square a little more character. So there's a little color bleeding here on this one. And then on the Green Scream, I believe in one of the corners, there's a little minor color bleeding. It's not going to be a huge issue for me. I think with this square and this colorway, I'm going to do a lined purse. And I'm definitely thinking a granny square cardigan with the Black Carnation. I just love, this is probably my favorite one that I bought out of the 3. I really like this one. My tail's a little short there, but I'll be able to weave it in. Overall, I do recommend this yarn. If you like making granny squares, you're gonna love this yarn. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will be back with another video very soon. Bye.